Hey Mama, I'm so thrilled you're here today. First off, I'd love to invite you to just refresh your water, do some gentle stretches, take some relaxing and restorative breaths, and we'll go ahead and get started. Are you frustrated and struggling with consistency when it comes to movement and exercise? You are absolutely in the right place. So don't let another year pass you by when you're feeling frustrated and coming up short regarding your exercise goals and outcomes. Resulting from today's webinar, you can expect to discover and develop the resources, tools, and strategies necessary to make 2025 the year of empowered movement in your life, all while on your overall journey to looking and feeling your best. So before we start in the fun, let's start with some real fun. So as you're able, go ahead and get up, Mama. I'm going to just simply march in place seated because that's just what's going to happen today for me. But for you, I absolutely invite you to get creative. Get into some full body movements. You can just, we'll go ahead and move for about 2 minutes and kind of power up for today's experience. So might hear some tapping in the background as I continue to move, but we'll go ahead and get started and go for 2 minutes. You could do some arm swings, some leg swings, some trunk rotation, mobility work, that kind of thing. Whatever feels good for you and whatever you feel able and capable of doing. You could even add some light wrist circles, light ankle circles, that kind of thing. Maybe some even desk stretches and exercises if you would prefer. Something that really just kind of starts you up and gets you going. So we'll keep at it. You got it, Mama. Don't be afraid to grab some water if you want to grab a drink, and we'll move on in a few. So when was the last time you exercised? I mean, for real, exercised. Think back, we're in the beginning of January, so perhaps you've committed to a regular exercise plan, and you're here just to ensure that it's going to be accomplished and successfully completed throughout the next year. All right, we'll go ahead and move on. So what to expect? How do you feel after that specific example of just movement? In just 2 minutes, you achieve the benefits of increasing blood flow, heart rate. Perhaps you even feel a little bit more invigorated and energized. Now imagine how you could feel after a full-blown 20, 30, 45-minute exercise session. Sky's the limit. You're a mother with a lot going on in life. Every minute counts, and often you sacrifice exercise for other life stuff. We are going to break that cycle and learn what it takes to be successful in prioritizing exercise so it supports your optimal health and well-being, as well as understanding the role of movement in motherhood and how positively influential it can be. So today, you're going to learn where to start. You're going to learn how to stay consistent. You're going to learn some tools and strategies to really get true, real results. And then also you're going to learn some tips and tricks for getting back on track when life happens. So this slide right here is a lot to unpack in just a few minutes, but I definitely want to prioritize additional strategies and resources with you today. But I can't help but ignore the roots of what helps mamas just like you stay committed to exercise in the long term. It's not just about motivation. It's not just about momentum or grit or resilience. Deep commitment and the ability to understand who you are and what you stand for as a human, your basic human values, and your vision for what you want your healthiest life to be like, looking and feeling your best, are all absolutely essential to making sure you succeed for real this time. If you're feeling like you need a fresh start and you need to recommit to your journey altogether and looking and feeling your best, take a peek at the Voss Wellness Align program. These 3 items here are the very first steps that you can take and move forward with to ensure that you're in the right place and headspace to make any and all of your health goals your reality. So for today, we'll keep these things in mind as we move forward, but we will spend some time on vision for sure. Oftentimes you find yourself coming up short regarding your commitment to healthy lifestyle habits, exercise included. It can be a result of vague goals. You might have an idea of what your fitness goals are for 2025, but you don't have the specifics drilled down yet. This can be a game changer regarding your success in looking and feeling your best. I'm going to give you a taste of what it's like developing your vision for your most fit self. So we'll go ahead and begin. Take a moment and gently close your eyes. Keep in mind it's absolutely natural for your mind to wander, but as it does, bring your attention back to the present moment. Take 3 deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. In your mind's eye, you're in a space where all your needs are met. You feel safe, secure, content, and satisfied. You take note of your body and the life you lived to enjoy the body that you do currently. You think about all the steps you took and all the people that supported you along the way. You express deep gratitude to yourself for all the strategies and routines you prioritized before this moment to succeed in your fitness and physique goals. You're feeling energized in your body. You're feeling strong, fit, vibrant. Stressors come and go. Your mood is generally positive and you're sleeping great too. You have so many positive benefits and side effects of exercise in your life. Take some time and enjoy this place. Enjoy 3 deep, enlivening breaths and gently open your eyes. So what did you envision, Mama? What did that place look like for you? Who were the people there who helped you? And what were the changes that you made so you could live and achieve your exercise goals? This guided imagery practice is just simply a brief example of how you can start to visualize your goal outcomes and discover your vision for your healthiest self while you're looking and feeling your best. So now that you have an idea of what you want to see for yourself in the future, let's go ahead and unpack exactly how you can get there. When you have clear goals and a clear vision, the next step becomes backward planning. Have you ever been a part of a complex integration of a new project or a new technology at work? Have you ever remodeled your home or been a part of a major family change? How did you approach it? First, there was likely some planning involved. This planning may have involved backwards planning, determining where you want to be by what date, and then evaluating how you will get there, what's necessary to accomplish, the end goal and outcome, what milestones need met along the way so you can see yourself through the project. Fellow Voss Wellness mamas and former mamas with whom I've worked have used backward planning to establish a timeline for their overall health objectives and develop supporting goals that had very clear self-generated deadlines. Mamas would set up backward planning calendars and plan out their progress so as not to bombard themselves with an extensive to-do list amongst the currently exhausting to-do list of life. But the division of the goals across your calendar's timeline supports gradual, sustainable progress towards your healthiest, most well self. Next, plan your work and work your plan. When you develop an exercise plan, the clear-cut expectations of how you are going to exercise can support your ability to follow through. While winging it may perhaps work for some, when you have a specific plan in place for how you are going to exercise, you eliminate much of the mental load that can come as a result of last-minute planning of an exercise session. Often what mamas tell me is that they need to make a decision about exercise. The mental load of the decision requires more energy than they're willing to put forth in order to make a decision and act upon it. Does this resonate with you? If so, how can you plan your workout and work your plan so you can avoid decision fatigue altogether and support yourself exercising regularly? Next, moving as a family. This can help you achieve and accomplish real results. Some family favorites I've heard are age-appropriate exercise sessions with parents involved. For an example, you're doing some weighted squats and your child is doing regular body weight squats alongside you. You're keeping in tune with their form to encourage proper performance of the exercise that you're doing so they can be safe. But you're also inviting them to be a part of your experience. And subsequently, oftentimes what can happen is they can provide some accountability for you too. Also, walks as a family, whether that be baby in a stroller or children on bikes while you jog alongside them. There are so many creative ways to make movement a priority for you and your whole family. I know it can get dicey. As a working mother, you may feel like you're sacrificing time away from your family and your children to commit to your career and your role. Whereas here is kind of an option to blend the two, to incorporate the family into your exercise routine. So you're meeting that value of wanting to spend time with them and wanting to foster healthy habits within your family unit. So when it comes to actually building out your plan for exercise, keep the following in mind. Sticking to the FitVP principle will ensure you get real results and that your exercise plan is thorough and complete and balanced. The FitVP principle is a framework that exercise professionals and you can use to ensure your exercise plan is specifically designed with little guesswork, more intentionality, and concrete, clear variables. Think through all of these variables. Are you having flashbacks to 7th grade science class when you conducted experiments with all the variables identified and accounted for? So to kind of bring some life to this theory and this framework, an example is I will complete a combination of strength, cardio, and flexibility exercise 4 times per week for 40 minutes. I'll exercise at a moderate intensity and stretch to the evidence-based guidelines of mild discomfort. Using the equipment of my home gym, I'll progress using rate of perceived exertion for cardio. When my exercise feels less intense, I'll increase the resistance on the cardio machine. When I feel like I can successfully accomplish more reps than in my strength training plan, I'll increase the weight used for the strength training. Now, when we talk about volume and progression, we're talking about 2 of the variables that go hand in hand to support you continuing to rise to the occasion and continuing to challenge your body. So when we talk about volume, we're talking about the total amount of exercise that you're doing. And so again, when you're boosting that volume of exercise, you're boosting your body's ability to perform. You're boosting the kind of effort and demand that's placed upon it. So again, progression, we talked about how in the example I share, the real life example of the FitVP principle, when your exercise feels less intense, to boost up that intensity using the resistance on the machine, you're providing that environment for your body to need to rise to the occasion, for your muscles to need to work harder and experience the demand that is going to yield results in your life. So now we're moving on to what you can do when life happens. What you can do when you're feeling like you're going off track and you need to right the ship. So let's be real. Life does happen. Even though you have your specific exercise plan in place, it's scheduled on your calendar, you've been able to plan out your year in terms of backwards planning and those kind of milestones that you want to achieve. But there are still going to be instances where you fall short, you fall off the wagon, you lose motivation, life happens. When you're struggling and perhaps need a kick in the pants, who is going to be there to pick you up off of your rear end and cheer you on? Think through these accountability tools so you can put them in your toolbox when you need to fix the gaps in your exercise plan. So who will that friend be for you? Can they be a listening ear? Can they offer some advice? Can they be part and partake in a brutally honest conversation with you? Your support person, mama, should be someone you know and trust who loves you and wants you to succeed in your exercise goals. So what other structures can you put in place? Could you perhaps share your goal on social media and post progress, generating that kind of following and support of some of your friends on social media? Again, could you use your planner to spell out your goals? Could you use calendar reminders to affirm your time allocated to your commitment to movement and moving your body? There's so much opportunity to utilize these accountability tools so that when life happens, if you're falling short, you can pick up where you left off and recommit and see yourself to 2026 having accomplished all that you want to and more. So, Mama, as you're considering where to start, how to foster consistency, how to achieve real results, and how to navigate challenges along the way, consider the following. When you prioritize movement in motherhood, you are setting an example for your family. We talked about incorporating the family unit on, things like walks or a group exercise session, that kind of thing. But what you're doing is you're modeling the behavior and you're modeling a value that is going to stick with your children. You're supporting a healthy family. Chances are, and I don't know if you're exactly like this, but chances are when you're moving your body regularly, when you're committing to that regular exercise, often what I hear is there's almost like this positive snowball kind of spiral. You find yourself, choosing a little bit more green leafy vegetables into your diet. You find yourself cooking a little bit more because you have more energy at home in the evenings as opposed to grabbing takeout or fast food on the way home. You foster connection, whether it be connection with, perhaps your exercise buddy or connection with your family through exercise. That can absolutely be a value that you achieve and enjoy when you prioritize movement in motherhood. Your mindset might experience a tune-up. Chances are you'll feel more positive. You'll be a little bit more level-headed when you prioritize movement in your life. Regular committed exercise can oftentimes be that time to yourself where, you need to kind of restore and recharge and unplug from your regular roles and responsibilities during family time. And if you are choosing to participate in exercise and movement alongside your family, you're taking some time to be yourself-ish. There might be other people around, but you're still focusing and you're still being intentional about your movement and your exercise during those experiences. Exercise can boost quality of life. Imagine feeling more content and more satisfied with your life and with all that is bursting within it. It can boost productivity, not only on the work front, but on the home front as well. How would it feel to conquer that Mount Kilimanjaro of laundry that's piled up on your living room couch? You'd feel more productive and have more energy to do all the things you need to do and more when it comes to other factors in your life. And now for action. So let's go ahead and keep this conversation going so you have the support you need this year and every year to be successful in your exercise goals. Book your discovery call with me so we can work through your backwards planning and your Fit V principle so you can live your healthiest life looking and feeling your best. Did you enjoy this webinar? Share it with a mama friend who you think could benefit from today's messages. Please visit vosswellness.com to book your discovery call. Additionally, considering the nature of this webinar and it no longer being a live option, please go ahead and submit any and all questions you have on today's content to amanda@vosswellness.com. I'll be working to compile a Q&A follow-up at the conclusion of today's experience once I gather some of those questions that people are submitting, and we'll absolutely share via social media and email, kind of some of the questions and feedback and answers that I can provide. Please join us next month for a webinar on all things sleep and motherhood. Thank you so much, Mama, for sharing your valuable time with me today, and I cannot wait to see you soon. In good health.